There's a few other key problems that people have. These are general things. Is that smoking? You know, everybody seems to know like smoking is really not that good for them.
Right.
And the usual answer is, I'll try to stop. They slow down, then they pick it up again, and they sort of surrender and say, look, I'm going to live my life and enjoy it. I have to have my cigarettes, but I know they're harming me. Something is hitting them that they wish they could stop without feeling miserable about it. Do they ever come to you with smoking problems?
Of course, all the time.
All the time?
All the time.
But
now here's a perfect example of the conscious mind knowing the detriments to smoking.
right.
Yet there's a perceived benefit, and that perceived benefit lies someplace else other than the conscious mind. It lies in the subconscious mind. There's a misperception, there's a belief going on some level, that the smoking is giving them something.
They think it's giving them pleasure, I think.
Well, oftentimes it's more than just pleasure. Oftentimes I'll give you an example. A woman comes in,
Right.
and she wanted to stop smoking. That was a presenting issue. In hypnosis, we spoke to that part of her subconscious which was responsible for the behavior. We spoke to the smoker. We asked the smoker, why are you there? What purpose are you serving? And would you be willing to go back in time to whenever it was you first came into her life? Now, when the scene opened up for her, by the way, this is called regression.
Right.
And regression is not memory recall. Regression is going back and reliving the experience all over again. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're seeing. It doesn't have to be a full-length movie. It could be something you're feeling, or something you're sensing, or it could be just an inner knowing. So in her case, when we brought her back using regression as a technique, and when the scene opened up for her, she was 4 years old. She comes walking into her father's study. Her father was sitting behind the desk. He was smoking. She walks over to the desk. She pulls out a cigarette from the pack. She puts it to her lips. Her father thinks it's so cute. He goes ahead and he picks her up. He puts her on his lap. He takes the cigarette out of her mouth, and he gives her a big hug, big kiss, says, honey, you're too young to smoke. The implication here is twofold. One, you have my permission to smoke when you grow older. That was one of the things that were implied.
Yeah.
The other thing was there was a neural association or a neural connection made between daddy's love and cigarettes. Now, if I would have tried to get her to stop smoking before uncovering this, if I would have tried to take away the cigarettes before uncovering this, I would have been taking away daddy's love. Her conscious mind knows that daddy doesn't want her to smoke, never did. Daddy died 5 years before from lung cancer. Her conscious mind understood that. But on a subconscious level, her subconscious level, whose primary objective is to keep us safe, made this connection between daddy's love and cigarettes. So it was actually a misunderstanding, a misperception by the subconscious. So much of what we do here is re-educate the subconscious.
There was rumors, probably truth and everything, that you've had been written up by the New York Times and the Bayside News. And
the New York Times and the Bayside Times.
The Bayside Times, sorry about that.
Yeah, the New York Times article, by the way, is hanging above my shoulder.
Oh, that's fair. You didn't tell us that before we came in. It's hanging right up there. Okay.
Yeah.
And what did they came here to what, to bother you, to knock on your door, see how you're doing, or you know?
We were doing a hypnotherapy training program, and they wanted to come and film it, and write it up, and they did.
Okay, for most of our people out there are not experts like you are, and which I'm not, and my producer might know more than me, but he's behind the scenes, and we have a nice guest here too. Now, when you say the hypnotherapy group, what was that? You gave training? What was you saying about hypnotherapy?
We taught the basic hypnotherapy training course, and we were contacted by the New York Times. They wanted to come in and do a featured article on us, and they were only supposed to be here for about an hour. They came with a reporter and a photographer and wound up spending the entire day with us. So
wow. How long is, what kind, give us the little, just briefing on the training. You bring a few people from the neighborhood here and you give them training, or how does it work?
People contact us from all over. We've had people come in from overseas, actually. The last training class, we had someone from the UK, we had someone from Switzerland, and we had someone coming in from Georgia. Just to give you an idea of
The Russian Georgia or the Georgia in
no,
the south?
actually the one with the southern accent.
Oh, okay, so the next one. Yeah. Now, in other words, so they must have heard about that you're giving training to come from all over there. Is this like on websites or is this in newspapers?
Yeah, we have a website. And
Well, what's your website anyway?
It's www.nyhypnosis.net.